Justin, swing away, my boy.
You recording?
Yes, I am, sir.
All right, welcome to Wolfpack Media. We're here, and we're going to tell you about the news, entertainment, anything. We figured that we'd throw our hat into the arena of political news, whatnot, just because. I am Justin Huseman, founder of Wolfpack Media and news contributor. I'm going to pass it on to you guys. Want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I am the co-host of Wolfpack Media, Benaiah Huseman, and I'm just excited to get this thing started, and we got a lot to talk about here soon.
Oh yeah, I'm like part of the web designer type of thing. I'm Anton Schmidt, by the way.
I was going to say, what's your name, bro?
Let's go.
Alright, if that's good, you guys fucking all good with that? Let's move on to the news. Alright, we got our first article here from The Guardian. Elon Musk appears to make back-to-back fastest salutes at a national rally. Tech billionaire wades into controversy after shooting right arm on upwards diagonal during Trump celebrations. You guys gotta listen to this article because it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever fucking read in my life. Alright, Elon Musk waded into controversy on Monday, this is obviously back during the inauguration, when he gave back-to-back fascist-style salutes during celebrations of the presidential inauguration of Donald Trump. And it has him quoting, "I just want to say thank you for making it happen."
What is his grandfather's support,
X and Tesla, the richest person on earth, and a major Trump donor and advisor, told Trump supporters at the Capital One Arena in Washington. Musk then slapped his right hand into his chest, fingers splayed, before shooting out his right arm on an upwards. Who the fuck wrote this? Upwards.
I mean, he does have grandparents that do kind of support that thing.
Fingers together and palm facing down. The Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, which campaigns against anti-Semitism, defines the they actually have a definition for the Nazi salute as raising an outstretched right arm with the palm down.
And this is coming from The Guardian, right, Justin?
Yeah, this is from The Guardian.
Wow, I did not think they go that leftist. That is crazy.
As the crowd roared, hold on. As the crowd roared, Musk turned and saluted again. His right arm again, slightly lowered this time.
What?
My heart goes out to you, Musk said, striking himself on the chest again. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. Thanks to you, we're going to have safe cities. Finally, safe cities, secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff, and we're going to take Doge to the Mars. That was a reference to the so-called Department of Government Why did they word it like this? The so-called Department of Government Efficiency.
I don't think it was actually Nazi-driven, but I can't be 100% sure it wasn't, you know.
Justin, why don't you bring up
maybe was, maybe wasn't.
He was giving his heart out to the people.
I like, that's what he was doing. That's literally what he was doing.
Justin, what do you have to say about those other politicians that did the same salute, mostly leftists, like AOC?
Yeah, we had AOC, and I have a picture. I wish I could show it to you guys, but I have a picture posted on my Facebook of AOC, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, all doing like similar gestures.
And no hate on their end. No hate, right? Because they got the moral high ground, right, boys? They got the high ground, right?
Oh yeah, they do.
It's just the most ridiculous. Like, and especially the way the Guardian, like, shout out to whoever wrote this. Let's see. It doesn't have who wrote it on here. Isn't that fucking convenient?
Oh, very.
Yeah, it doesn't have the author anywhere
I like
on
the
here that I
dramatic
can see.
effect of the.
Where's their source
Just the
material? That's what I
narration
want to
surrounding
know.
it.
Where does the Guardian get their source material?
I have no idea where the Guardian gets there. So I just the writing of it, like he gave a back-to-back fascist style
Back to back.
salute.
He was very, very.
And they
specific.
like went as far as to give the
Very
ADL's
specific.
definition of a Nazi salute. Like what is the Anti-Defamation League is out here like like defining like what it is to be like what like a Nazi like because the Anti-Defamation League is the
it could have been
experts on
Nazi-driven,
Nazism.
you know, it
And
could have been.
you know what? A wild theory I heard this week, guys. I heard coming from leftists, people who support the LGBT community. They're even calling Trump and Elon gay lovers. How wild is that? Yes, I see liberals all over Facebook and X just saying they're gay lovers. I don't know where they get these wild ideas, but wow, I don't know if they're being strategic about
Anyway.
it or just continue.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Jake. So, fucking, what do you guys think about?
It's just ridiculous.
I mean,
It's
it's
just the
plausible.
media.
It is
No,
plausible.
it's
I
just-
mean, his grandparents do support a part of a Nazi regime. You know, it's possible.
I think you're being
Well, you know what I think it
No,
is?
Possible.
that's fact check false, Antone. First of all, disavow.
You know what I
It's
think it is?
possible.
They had this way of explaining that Trump and Elon are fascists and they support Nazi Germany and shit like that, and they want to govern like how Hitler did. It just fits their narrative.
Well, like I was telling you guys earlier, like the man's from Africa. Like, so do we call Elon Musk African American?
I guess
Because
so.
he's from
I
Africa,
guess so.
but
I
now
guess
he's an
so.
American citizen. Like it just really goes to show you like how they've been like just. They didn't learn their lesson from the past 4 years, and they didn't learn their lesson from this past election. Like the just yelling Nazi all the time and taking this they're calling it a Roman salute is what he actually did. And I wouldn't even go as far. I know what you're gonna say. I wouldn't even go as far to say it was that. He grabbed his heart and as he was doing this, he was saying, "My heart goes out to you."
No dispute here. It was not a Roman salute. So
Narrow
it down.
It certainly wasn't a Nazi salute. It was
Could've
just
been.
Elon
Well,
Musk.
could have been.
He was being like, you know how like some people are just like Trump is really like when he's talking he uses his hands a lot. That's what he was doing. Plus he was excited. It was a celebration. Everybody there was celebrating.
But now I'm gonna roll the camera on you.
I mean, before he did this so-called Nazi salute, he was like doing his signature, jumping up and down, and like being like, yeah, and like dude was just excited. And
Yeah, I think he was just enjoying himself. He was taking in the moment. He was excited like everybody was that Trump won. There's a huge weight lifted off everybody's shoulders, and
relief.
yeah, like the inauguration was a huge celebration. I don't know if you guys watched it, but I did.
I watched
and
all of it.
It was like, dude, just so many people there, smiles, like cheering, fucking, you know how Trump rallies go, like, and all the coolest people that we know and love watching, like everybody from the Daily Wire was there, Timcast was there, freaking. Well, I don't know. I think Timcast was there. He was recording there somewhere, I believe. But there was the entire Trump family, Melania's dad.
There was a lot of funny memes from that fucking inauguration. Let me tell you.
Did you
It was
hear?
funny.
Did you see at the rally where Trump talked about Barron, his son? Or
Oh
whatever?
yeah. Like, what do you guys think? I wanted to ask you guys too. What do you think about possibly? I mean, Barron Trump, like 2030 or whatever the hell or 2032 would be the next one. Barron Trump 2032. You know.
How old do you have to be to run?
You gotta be at least
Yeah, I guess you got to be in your
Yeah.
30s.
35.
So it would
You'll
have
be
to
older
be.
than that,
It would
no?
have to be
30.
Don Jr.?
Let me look it up. real
35.
quick.
Is Don Jr. the oldest between them?
I believe John Jr. is the oldest, Barron's the youngest, and
And there's
Eric's
Eric.
the middle one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Donald Trump Jr. And then there's Ivanka, the daughter. Don't forget about Ivanka.
Oh yeah. He's got quite a few kids and a couple grandkids.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. There's been talk lately that like, hey, the Trump dynasty, you know, could keep on going.
I mean,
Like,
it's possible.
some people have talked about like Don Jr., but like I think he's comfortable where he's at, you know, like where we're at. He's in the podcast scene and kind of the political news side of things.
And the thing is, somebody has to run the family company.
Yeah, that too. And I think he has Erica doing a lot of that too, if I'm correct. I could be wrong.
I just thought it was awesome when they were talking about Barron Trump. And Barron Trump is the one who actually told Trump about all these different podcasts, and they mentioned it in the when they were celebrating at the hockey arena, and Barron Trump got a massive ovation because everybody loves Barron Trump.
That was cool. He's a fucking rock star.
They know that Barron Trump was the one that was able to get Trump on all these podcasts, like the Nelk Boys. He went on Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah,
He went like all the biggest. He went on Theo Vaughn even.
Yeah,
on all the biggest podcasts.
Theo Vaughn, Sean Ryan. Yeah, he
was even on an Aiden Ross live stream. I don't know if you guys know who Aiden Ross is, but he's like this Twitch streamer, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was on Aiden Ross's freaking stream.
He was like on places.
And then all the people were commenting, W Trump, W Trump, W Trump.
Yeah. Just like what a guy too. Like, could you imagine like being some of those like some of these guys just started a few years ago, and now you're interviewing the president-elect of the United States, like you got how exciting that would be, and what a cool dude to like give those guys that kind of spotlight, because I know that every single one of those interviews like just shot those guys.
Well, it's because they reached a different demographic. It was young people, voters.
Like a lot of Gen Z just became like a voting age this year.
Just like us, we don't really watch cable news. We don't really watch Fox all the time or CNN.
I never watch
all
cable
that
news.
stuff. Where do we get our media from? A lot of people, and it's not just young people. Some older people are switching over to podcasts and YouTube and all these different media outlets besides the mainstream legacy media like CNN, MSNBC. They're all losing their credibility. Did you see that Trump sued? Didn't he sue MSNBC, or was it one of those?
I believe it was MSNBC. I'd have to look
because the guy went on there and called him a rapist.
Yeah. It was. I think the guy lost his job too, or maybe he didn't lose his job.
They just lost a lawsuit.
They tried to move him to the midnight slot, and then he just quit, I believe, because they.
He resigned.
He just quit because who fucking watches news at midnight?
There's another.
At least on cable news, I mean.
60 Minutes got sued by Trump, and they're talking about settling that case.
Yeah, they're talking about settling that. Yeah, he's just like putting W's on the board.
How they edited out the Kamala Harris interview on 60 Minutes, and she gave an answer, and then the answer made no sense, so they like went back and asked her it again and had her re-say her answer, so it didn't look as bad.
I bet she reeked of booze.
Did you guys?
I really bet she reeked of booze.
Somebody put it on X where they showed the two videos side by side. Because they finally came out with the video.
There's such a big difference.
I love how after the election they didn't come out with the video till after the election was already done. Actually, even months after that, I believe it was like December when they finally showed the unedited, the real video. I'm just like,
I want to see the real.
You see, and that's supposed to be news.
The real unedited footage.
Well, there is
her like stumbling over with a booze bottle.
Oh my god!
Halfway through intermission.
How much do you think they cut up that interview?
A lot.
I bet a whole
I mean,
lot.
can you imagine like interviewing Joe Biden and stuff? Like, they couldn't get the man to.
No.
they couldn't get the man to do straight sentences for more than a couple minutes.
I like how Carolyn Levitt went on there, and the first thing she said is like, she's like, Trump is going to come down here. He's going to do a lot of the talking. He's going to be answering a lot of the questions. And this is something that Joe Biden wouldn't do because he'd be in his bed up there for another 2 hours.
Exactly.
What's his bedtime? 8 p.m. or some shit?
He's geriatric.
Well, he made a joke. Trump made a joke about the leader of Italy wanted to get a meeting with Biden. And he said he could get a meeting, but it would be in 2 months.
Wow.
I gotta get old juice.
He actually said the other day during a press conference that he was like, "Yeah, Biden, they all these countries, the presidents of these countries, the prime ministers of these countries, they'd be calling the White House and calling the White House, and they would never take them back. I've taken every call from every one of them.
That kind of shows that he's actually not even in control.
Well,
if they have to have like a before time on and get them all just
it's
up,
widely known at this point.
A lot of White House staffers were running shit.
Yeah.
If they have to have a time where they get them all ready and stuff, is he really the president?
Yeah, I mean, that's why.
Unelected White House staffers, mind you.
Yeah, like the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy's cut.
No, like those
Fourth branch
miscellaneous
government.
votes, 8
Fourth
billion
branch
votes that came out of
government,
nowhere.
I find it crazy that it took all the way up to the debate for the whole entire world to realize, oh wow, Biden is cognitively impaired. He's not fit to be president.
They do the whole
But
time.
I don't think
dude.
I
They're just
actually do.
obfuscating,
No, I
dude.
believe that there are actually people that watch the news and wholeheartedly believe it. As crazy it is for us to believe, I actually think that there are people that watch the news and they are so oblivious and so ignorant that they actually believe it.
Well, it comes from the boomer generation where, I mean, it's the reason why it's gotten this bad in this country, that the boomer generation, their complacency kind of, and I don't want to throw shade at the boomer generation. Like, they're probably one of the hardest working generations that we got, especially now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, you guys just watched the TV and whatever the hell they told you, you were like, yes. like, dude, and I get it too, because like I sit there and all I do is watch the news for hours and hours and hours and hours a day. But so the normies, like that's the term I guess we're using, is the normies. Most people got shit to do. They're at work all day, every day. They might catch like an hour of news in the morning on their way to work or whatever, but nobody, I get it, like especially right-wing people.
Well,
like,
it all depends if they have access to the too.
Well, it's bullshit
with streaming
because,
services
like,
and stuff.
I'm not going to necessarily.
It all depends on that now.
Well, I'm not going to put it entirely on the boomer generation, bro, because like they. At a certain point, it's the media needs to have accountability. Like, if you mess up, bro, like, you need to be fired, dude. If you're putting out the wrong thing, or at least put out a correction and be like,
or own up to it.
Well, yeah, like, be like, sorry, we got this wrong. Like, there's no, like, nobody's gonna blame you for getting something wrong. We're all human.
Now, how much do you guys
I'd respect
think
someone
that
more if they actually
Elon
own up to
Musk
it.
going out and actually buying X and giving people like us a free platform so we
Oh,
wouldn't get
dude,
censored all the time?
we're the media now.
How big of an impact do you think that had on the
Although
election?
he did censor certain videos for,
I personally think it had a huge
negativity.
impact on the election.
I think he saved free speech for the United States.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
if it was that was a Nexus event.
With X,
Elon purchasing, that was
Well,
a
it got
Nexus
crazy
event,
on
bro.
Facebook, dude. Like, anything you post would get censored and taken down.
Oh yeah,
Anything.
like anything. They were taking off.
I couldn't.
During COVID, they were taking off like Harvard educated some of the best like educated doctors were getting deplatformed, like their lives ruined and shit too, getting doxxed.
Anything anti-vaxxing.
Yeah, like they were coming out like saying that hydroxychloroquine was completely fine, and all the media was doing was just not even censoring, just like straight up, you're done. And we're gonna drag your name through the mud, and we're gonna like do all this like nasty stuff, like them getting death threats and just weird stuff going on.
Dude, I think Elon Musk seen the shit hit the fan when they went after and tried to cancel Joe Rogan over ivermectin.
Yeah, like what's like?
Remember Don Lemon and that other guy Chris Cuomo? I think we're on CNN and they were making fun of Joe Rogan talking about ivermectin,
which by the way is an FDA approved
completely
medicine.
safe.
Yeah, they've been using it for years on other things.
They're like, oh, it's a horse dewormer.
Yeah, they're like, it's a horse dewormer. It's a horse dewormer.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
So lame. Anyway, let's fucking see if we can segue here a little bit. I got this from the New York Times. We're gonna get
Lay it
into,
on us,
we're
Juicy.
gonna get some
Lay it on us good.
Trump's
Lay it
policies
on us.
here. This is what the left thinks about, or what the New York Times thinks about Trump's immigration. Here we go. We got immigrant communities in hiding. Hiding? People think ICE is everywhere. This is the name of the article. Immigrant communities in hiding, colon.
Did they put
People think
communities to
ICE
make
is
them
everywhere.
seem more relatable? They put in communities.
Immigrant community, yeah, like
Illegal
like,
criminals.
It's a biased term.
Like,
Yeah.
all right, let's read it here. You guys are gonna laugh. At a barbershop in Los Angeles, only one of the 10 chairs was occupied on what would ordinarily be a busy evening in San Francisco. A middle school student's erroneous information about seeing an immigration officer on a city bus prompted the school district to send parents a warning. In Chicago, a mistaken report that immigration agents showed up at a school set off panic that ripped across the country. At a church in Charlotte, North Carolina, more than a third of the usual congregants were absent from a recent evening service. Hotlines set up by advocates for immigrants to report enforcement activity have experienced a spike in calls. The hysteria is out of control, said Patrick Garcia, executive director of Embrace All Latino Voices, a group in Charlotte, North Carolina. After taking office last week, the Trump administration began highlighting somebody didn't write this right. Editors need to check this. Has characterized as a new and more aggressive effort to target illegal immigration and deliver on a key campaign pledge to carry out mass deportation. So far, the enforcement efforts have been primarily individual arrests rather than sweeping of factories, farms, or large-scale sites. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has reported on social media that more than 5,000 arrests in around a week's time. An estimated 14 million undocumented immigrants live in the United States, according to demographers,
Seriously?
and other experts.
Wow.
The number includes people with no legal status, as well as people who have some form of temporary status, whatever that means, that is being contested in
visas,
court
I'm sure.
or has been threatened with termination by the Trump administration.
What
do we think
stuff,
about
yeah.
the immigrant situation? Because I, for one, say that I am thrilled to see this. I am happy Trump is doing this, and this is exactly why we voted for him in 2020.
Here's how I look at it. They're actually doing their job and enforcing the law. Wow. Good job. They're enforcing the law. Good job. That's the law.
Yeah, like all of them are like I don't know, like just the title of the article: Immigrant Communities in Hiding. People think ICE is everywhere.
Yeah, they make it sound pretty sinister.
It's cringy. It's cringy, dude. It's the cringiest shit that I've ever heard in my entire life.
People eat that shit up, and they'll go on there and be like, "Oh no, Trump's going after you!"
Well,
like trying to make a big. Scare
It's like
about it.
it's like a dude in an alley with like a hoe, and he's like freaking beating a woman to death. Oh, he got a splinter. That's how it is.
Did you
That's
guys
how I
see
look
the
at it.
Selena Gomez video?
Oh my god, the Selena
What's that
Gomez
about?
video. It's just another video of some millionaire crying on the internet for
They're like,
poor
they're taking
people.
my people.
Like,
So
yo,
she's
what
the
do you mean,
voice
your
of the Latino people. She's the voice of the Latino people.
Yeah, well, you know,
Selena Gomez, the most rich.
Every celebrity thinks that they're the voice of whatever
Like Taylor Swift.
freaking color they are or whatever.
Well, they
Like-
need to drum up a narrative.
They need to drum up a narrative, but like I didn't see her crying over the 300,000 children that went missing when they came across the border. That the Homeland Security had no idea where the hell these children
Haven't
are.
they found a bunch of them?
Tom Holman said that they found about 70,000
She doesn't
of them.
held the parents culpable.
But these liberals
for
were
the
saying
little
none of these
innocent
children were missing.
that get displaced because they came into this country.
Well, not only did they get displaced, but they actually get put into these child sex trafficking rings. forced like labor, like child labor. Like Josh Hawley had a video on it where on C-SPAN where he was like asking one of the ladies that was in charge of this, like, and she straight up admitted that, and he asked her, he was like, do you know that a lot of these kids are being sent to places where they probably shouldn't be? Like, I'm paraphrasing here, but and she just straight up, yes, we know. Then what are you doing about it?
Then who's to blame, though? Who's to blame? It's the parents that bring them over. That's who's to blame. Well,
it's the parents. It's the cartels that are getting paid a lot of money to bring them over. Like there's some horrifying.
So is it just
like stories from Border Patrol agents where they just like a 2-year-old walking with like a note strapped to its chest.
Yeah, the parent should be culpable for that, right?
Well, they live in other countries. They're just like paying these cartels to
or are
swing
they
these
like
kids
orphans
over.
or like abandoned children coming over?
Nobody even knows. It's such a clusterfuck that.
And the mainstream media refuses to talk about it, and they cover it up and say, "Oh, these children aren't missing; they just haven't been reported to the government."
If they do talk about it, they downplay it like it's not a big. It's like it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
they'll go like, "Oh, there's 365. How many kids missing? 1,000?
About 3. Tom Homan says about 300,000.
300,000, and what they'll do is they'll go on there. It's like, yes, there's 300,000 children missing, but very, very few of those are actually really missing, and then they'll downplay it, just like when the Lake Riley got killed.
Unless there's a new definition of missing. Like what do we mean?
They haven't been reported to the government, so nobody knows where they're at.
Well, I don't know about that.
So reported missing would be a parent seeking a child.
Well,
right?
here's the thing.
But still, that's not.
What
good.
about
Well, they weren't even checking up. They weren't even. They would send these kids to wherever like a note strapped to their chest would tell them to send, and they wouldn't follow up or check. To see if they actually went to where they were supposed to be, like with a family member or a loved one or somebody. Nobody background checked the people that they were being sent to. Nobody followed up after they sent them, and now they have no idea where they are. When they say missing, they mean missing.
I'm just telling you, that's what the mainstream media tries to say that it is. It's just, it's only a small percentage that are actually missing.
Yeah, I
just like the Lake and Riley thing. Like when it happened with Lake and Riley, they're like, there's only very few of these instances that actually occur. It's like just one is a reason to deport them all.
Yeah,
just one.
Exactly, bro.
One is more than enough. We need to get rid of these people and get them out, and I'm glad that Trump is doing it.
Yeah, honestly, like Tom Homan said in one of his interviews, he's like, this is saving lives, and I agree. I don't care what anybody says. When you have immigration problems in any country, not just the United States, like you are saving lives by having good border policies. What was it that one of them said the other day? I want to say it was J.D. Vance that said this. Just because.
Whoa, J.D. Vance.
Like, just because the reporter asked him, she was like, "Well, did you know that this country was made?" But tried to be a smart ass about it. This country was founded by ignorance, and he was like, "Yeah, but just because your country was founded by immigrants doesn't mean you have to have the dumbest immigration policy. 250 years later, you have to have the stupidest immigration policies on the planet."
The Statue of Liberty says, give me you're sick, you're poor, but that's not the case anymore.
But
things change. Things adapt.
First of all, things
they don't
change.
just conform to, this is the standard.
And it was different.
Changes.
And it was different when we had people in like the 70s and 80s and the 60s and whatever that were coming over. But they embraced American values and stuff. They didn't come over here like immediately despising our culture. They didn't come over here. They embraced the American way. They came over here because they wanted the American dream.
It was a little bit different because with Mexico, they're actually
they
attached to America, so they can jump back and forth.
It was that these
with
people
going to Europe and other countries.
It was
and
that
stuff.
these people loved America. They loved America. They loved our ways. They loved loved capitalism. They wanted what we had.
We don't want people
They
to come here
embrace
to
the American
change what
dream.
we already
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, like, but the ones that are coming over now, they
Don't embrace the American dream.
Well,
They
first
abuse
of all, if you come here illegally,
You're not respecting
show
our laws.
You show right away that you could care less
Yeah.
about because America, we're about laws. Like, I'm about reasonable laws, like don't murder people, don't rape people, don't do heinous, don't steal from people. Like if you want to come over here and you want to work and you want to contribute to society and you want to like become one of us, like one of us, but like I don't want to be like that, but for real, like if you want to embrace our you're listen dude, like you're gonna come over here and you're gonna sing "Oh Say Can You See" and you're gonna pledge allegiance to the damn flag. And
Wow. Don't say that.
well, it doesn't help that a lot of people in our own culture, the people that are American citizens, are running around and going like acting like it's become trendy to hate America, like fashionable to hate. Like it's like this weird self-hate that we kind of got going on here, and it's really odd.
You can disagree with certain things that happen.
Yeah, dude, like
but
I'm the
for
most
all, you should stand for your
anti-government person to ever walk the face of the earth, but dude, like
Yeah.
I understand that this country is special. Like we're special,
And
dude.
the biggest deal about the illegal immigration thing, you have to have borders to have good national security. You don't have borders, you don't have border security, you don't have national security.
No other nation does that shit. No other nation. You got Poland over there. They're fucking shooting people. They're shooting people.
Who's from Poland? I'm not gonna talk about that. But
Oh, I don't know. Bro.
who's from Poland? Baby?
All right. Anyway, let's get into some more of Trump's policies here. What do we got? I'll try to go through some of my articles I got pulled up here. Actually, let's go to cabinet nominees. So let's see where we're at here.
Ooh.
I really want to
We
talk
got
about.
something there.
Well, I really want to talk about RFK, like, because I think.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I like. There's been a lot of good nominees lately, like Pete Hegseth. But I really wanted to focus in on the ones that were today. Today and yesterday. RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and Kash Patel. Oh my God, I can't get this.
Which one are we talking about first, RFK?
Well, I'm going RFK first. We got this from Fox News.
He's jacked, by the way.
yeah, he is jacked.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
God, I've never seen a man his age so ripped. Anyway, which like
You couldn't
makes sense
pick a better person
for
for that. You couldn't pick a better person.
health
For health.
secretary.
He's
Yeah.
an anti-vaxxer, no!
Yeah. Well, here we go from Fox News. Trump health secretary nominee RFK Jr. survives heated hearings ahead of crucial confirmation votes. This is, I guess, before they had the hearings here. But let's read. I decided to go from Fox on this one. Just let's get some positive press on our dudes. Like,
We don't want to hear Elizabeth Warren's opinion on it.
the funny clip video, by the way, for if you've seen RFK Jr. like basically like laid into her, and she was like, "No," he was like, "So you're basically asking me to not sue the pharmaceutical companies," and she's
Yep.
like, "No, I am not."
And that's literally what she was doing.
Literally what she, and he stood his ground. He was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what you're telling me that you want me to do." Anyway, here we go. Back-to-back combustible Senate confirmation hearings are over, but RFK Jr., President Donald Trump's nominee for Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services, still faces crucial committee and full Senate confirmation votes in his mission to lead 18 powerful federal agencies that oversee the nation's food and health. testifying in front of the Senate Finance Committee on Wednesday. And
there we go. There we go.
Shut up, Ant. And the Health Committee on Thursday, the really Fox News, the vaccine skeptic and environmental crusader who ran for the White House in 2024 before ending his bid and endorsing Trump.
Sometimes you gotta fact
penalty of verbal fireworks over past controversial comments, which of course, like, they're gonna dig up every single thing that they know. Anyway, yeah, that's all I'm gonna read of that for now. So, dude, I just gotta say, RFK is a freaking rock star, dude, and I do not care. All the people that were out there supporting him, and the fact that I know, but the fact that
people up here are so separated from real people.
What's going on?
I got some technical difficulties.
We'll let it play.
Anyway, you guys tell me what you think about RFK.
I think he cares about the sick children and the chronic illness that we have in our country, and how we have the highest obesity rates and the highest cancer rates, and there's something that's poisoning us, and it's because of all of the different chemicals in our foods that the FDA allows us to have. Like, there was one that they used in some sort of, like, what was it, makeup or something? Some chemical they use in makeup that's in our food. I think it's like a color dye or something.
There's also, he wants Coca-Cola.
They use it, it's red dye, some sort of red dye. I forget what number it is. But it's the red dye. It's in a lot of stuff. Like,
and there's
Red Dye 40.
Mountain Dew. I don't remember which one
Red
it
Dye
is.
40,
You'd have to.
I think it's called.
Yeah, I think it's Red Dye 40. But it's cancerous according to a lot of studies.
The FDA approves a lot of
It's
weird,
banned in all other
harmful
countries.
chemicals that
You
is
can't
in
have
like
it.
cereals.
Yeah, like
Other countries?
European countries, Canada, Mexico,
That'll ban
South
it,
American
but we allow
countries
it.
have it illegal, but we allow it.
Did you guys know what tartrazine is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he was talking about that during the hearing, I believe.
It's yellow dye number 7, I believe, and it's in like, dude, it was crazy. So I was watching it, and then I was like, okay, what's tartrazine? And I looked it up because RFK was talking about it, and it's like, it's made from coal. It's somehow made from coal, but they use it in like Mountain Dew and all sorts of different.
And there's like a bunch of side effects and shit to it. Yeah,
it's cancerous, like,
and it doesn't add flavor either.
It's
no, it's just a
liquid
color. It's for the aesthetic.
Yeah.
They do it for the exciting. Like, dude, I'd drink white Mountain Dew if it tasted the same. Like, I don't give a crap. The color doesn't give it my appeal. Like, if it tastes good, then we buy it. Right?
I was drinking a Diet Mountain Dew literally last night, and I was like, tartrazine, and I looked at the very end ingredient was tartrazine.
Right on there.
I was like, wow, I am drinking this right now. Am I killing myself?
Did you have a Soylent Green? Did you have a Silent Green moment where you're like, they're made of people?
Kind of. I questioned. I was like, I really, really like Diet Mountain Dew, but should I really still be drinking it?
Yeah, dude, like, I quit all sodas, bro. Like, I have had, dude. I will say that ever since I stopped drinking soda, I still drink some sugary drinks like Gatorade and crap. Like, Gatorade I shouldn't drink either because it's got all those food dyes in it too. I really like Body Armor, I guess, because it does.
Body Armor's good.
I was looking at the ingredients. It's got like RFK's got me looking at ingredients.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, does this have that in there? Oh my god, I eat this.
And what he said, he's like, he's not gonna force you not to be able to go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac and do all these things, but he's also gonna let you know the harms it can cause too.
We just want these chemicals out of our food, bro.
Right.
Like, just take them out. Incentivize some of these companies, force them, do whatever you have to do. But and that was the thing about the hearings that made me so mad. Like, seeing some of these people, the Democrats, like the people that he used to be friends with, and you can see how genuine he's being. Like,
yep.
I truly, like, I don't have to, just like Trump, he's like, I have a comfortable life, dude. Like, I don't have to be doing this right now, getting scrutinized and dragged through the mud by my own family. Like, he doesn't have to do that. That just shows me personally the genuineness of the situation. Just like Trump, that like he could have just rode off into the sunset with his billions of dollars, lived out the rest of his life in Mar-a-Lago, like having a good life in a good place, hanging out with his families, his grandparents, or his grandkids, and like he didn't though. He felt deep in his soul, and like I want to say that's kind of why I wanted to start this channel with you guys, because it was to get the Anton's over here mocking me. I don't know why.
I don't know.
No, but
like
I get what you're saying, and I agree. It's like you can see it. He cares about he made it his mission, and he even said like during his testimony there, he was like, "I've been praying for the last 20 years. I've been getting on my knees and praying that somehow, some way, I can get this position."
Yeah.
Because all of his kids had some sort of allergies, and ever since then he's been wanting to find out what is poisoning Americans.
And that pissed me off. All they did during the hearings was bitch about vaccine. Like they had a big giant Pfizer tattoo on their forehead.
Yeah, they were questioning him on vaccine, and then they were saying,
but nobody wants to ask the questions about diabetes, obesity, heart conditions, cancers, children's allergies.
By the way, he is right about the vaccines.
Yeah, by the way,
there was a thing about Benadryl. You know about this? That I think it was like allergy medication.
Yeah, but
and it was like proven to do nothing.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And they took it off the store shelf as soon as Trump went in office.
I'll have to check that out. That's
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, that's like the main drug that people take for allergies and stuff. It's
and it turned out it didn't do anything.
Medication. I know that all Benadryl ever did for me was
make you pass out.
Yeah, it made me really, really sleepy. Like I just
Same
took a
here,
Tramadol or something. Yeah, I see in just like the love and support. Like I love RFK, dude. I love the Kennedy family. I often sit around and watch old videos of John F. Kennedy and Bobby Sr.
What about the JFK files that was released?
They're not. I haven't seen anything released yet. I think they're waiting for Kash Patel to get confirmed as FBI director.
They need to get that done.
You're still catching up on the news cycle.
Yeah, you guys seen he just had his hearing today, and another rock star, dude. Like you guys watch him on some of the podcasts. Like I love how they name him called Tim Cast on the during the hearing. They're like, they hold out this big board and they're like, oh, this is what you said on the right wing podcast, Tim Cast IRL. It was silly. It was silly. You can tell that all of these hearings, whether it be RFK, Kash Patel, Pete Hegseth, all of these nominees that Trump's trying to get through, you can just see that on the Democrat, they know they're on the losing side. The Republicans, as them not having the majority in the Senate right now, like they're just sitting there. It's just a huge grandstanding.
Yeah, it freaks them out too.
Well, they're trying to get clips. First of all, I think they're just trying to get their fist waving, and it's just
didn't Jon Stewart go on the news and he was like freaking out about it? Oh, people are voting these idiots in, and he was like so freaking out about it. So fucking funny.
Like, whatever, man. Like, dude, and I just can't wait for all this to be over. I thought that after the election and after the inauguration I'd feel better, but now I'm sitting here like, oh my god, we need these.
Back to the RFK one, I thought it was hilarious that both Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren were talking about him taking money from pharmaceutical companies.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a list of the congressmen who have taken the most amount of money.
Oh, yeah. If you
from
go and check out
companies.
Wolfpack on Facebook right now, I put up a list of all the Democrats during that hearing.
Was it number 1 and 2 Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders?
Warren and Bernie Sanders, who took millions. And you love how Bernie Sanders said he was like, I only took about 1.5 million out of 200 million. Like, just he self-owned himself. Like,
I only took some bribe money. I took some bribe money.
Like, dude, I'm gonna tell tell you right now, I got $0.00 in my bank account. So you know what $1.5 million would do for my life? And he's acting like it's just a drop in the bucket. Like, what a slap in the face.
Well, that's how rich people think.
That's exactly
Politicians
how they
think all the time. They think about
it's
stuff
why
like
it's
that.
why none of them would ever admit that the Biden economy was shitty, because the economy is great. How the hell would you know unless you lived in some of these middle class and lower class conditions? Most of these people never in their life spent like Kamala Harris out here. I grew up in middle class. Like, no, you didn't.
Didn't you say something about like Hillary Clinton saw like a little studio apartment or something like that, where it was super small, and she just like looked in and was like, wow, people live here? Wow! Yeah, that's the conditions they live in.
They have to, because...
Dude, I've lived in a studio apartment. Dude, I've lived on the street in a car.
A studio apartment in like New York is like $2,000 a month. A studio, like a 1-bedroom studio apartment in New York is like $2,000 a month.
Yeah, dude,
it's insane.
And the thing is, like, at least, yeah, Donald Trump grew up privileged and rich too, but at least he acknowledges it. He doesn't pass, because he works with so many middle class people.
He's more relatable too. Is the funny thing about it.
It's so fun because he actually gets down to our level.
He's genuine.
He comes to people where they're at and shit.
Like his taxes and stuff, he'll be like, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff.
Of course,
and he's like telling people, yeah, I do this.
So is everybody else. He's just calling out the hypocrisy, during that 2016 debate with Hillary Clinton, where he just straight up was like,
taxes.
yes, of
course I would do that.
I'm following, like, it's not like he was doing anything illegal. He's like, I'm doing what you and every single one of your donors and all the people in the audience.
If you don't like it, that's how it is.
And he's like, are you guys kidding me right now?
There's the donors and special interests.
Like, at least he's telling us, the system's rigged against you, bro, and like, this is what you got to do to change it. He acknowledges his privilege too. He acknowledges the fact that, dude, he doesn't sit there and go, the economy's doing great. Like, it may not be that hard for him to buy eggs and bacon and all that crap, bread and stuff.
By the way, they're ragging Trump about eggs.
Like,
which it's actually
he's been in office for 8 days, and now all of a sudden they want to acknowledge
it's actually
grocery prices are too
disease outbreak with the chickens and stuff.
Well, Biden had that whole I killed 100,000 chickens and shit.
I think it was like 100 million.
I don't remember what the exact.
And there was a bunch of fires that like burnt down a bunch of the.
That happens. That happens every year whenever there's wildfires. Like ranches will get burnt to the ground. I see a lot of like random fires too, and they just happen to be at like poultry factories and weird.
I think it's funny how.
Is it just coincidence?
That's my conspiracy theory. I'm just putting my tinfoil hat on for y'all, bro.
I like how James Woods, he was like, oh, my poor house was killed in a fire. And then, like, it goes to, like, Israel and stuff, and it's, like, it's all bombed and shit. And he was like, screw him.
Hey, man.
It was funny. It was pretty freaking funny.
James Wood is cool, though.
Kind of what comes around goes around type of thing. It was pretty freaking funny.
James Woods is based as fuck, bro. Based AF. I mean, if you look at his tweets, he's based as hell, bro. He's one of those guys that I can get down with.
He ain't down to earth.
It's just the people that acknowledge the fact that, like, yo, dude, I'm rich. So I don't really actually know what the average person feels, but I can empathize with them. Like, dude, I can at least like take that, bro. I'll take that over don't believe your lying eyes. Over no, everything's totally fine, dude.
Take a shot in the arm versus a shot in the leg type of thing.
I mean,
it's
that
bad either way.
Though, dude, that was the worst campaign I think in the history of American politics.
It'll go down. It was definitely the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my 33
And then they leaned
into
the Tim Walz and tried to make Tim Walz seem like he's this hunter to get more of the male vote.
It was, dude.
And they made their hats and like camel hats.
Dude, every single thing that those two did in front of the camera during the campaign trail was all staged. Like Kamala Harris couldn't even have like a picture of her like working on a computer with with the headphones that weren't plugged in.
She worked at McDonald's.
Clearly see that it wasn't plugged in.
No, she worked at McDonald's.
How do you go from tampon in boys' bathrooms and going from that to all of a sudden, Tim Walz made that law in Minnesota where they had to add tampons in boys' bathrooms in like schools.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And then they
you didn't know that's why Trump called them Tampon Tim.
Yeah, that was his whole nickname.
That was the whole thing. Where have you been, bro?
It's been out a while, I guess.
Where have you been for this whole campaign trail?
Tampon Tim.
Tampon. Where do you think he got
and then
that
after that, they like freaked out because everybody was making fun of him, like he was this pussy. So they
they made shirts that said Tampon.
They did a photo op with him like pheasant hunting.
Yeah. That was what they did immediately
that was
after
that
the
one
Tampon
guy I
thing
saw.
came out.
Yeah.
Immediately
It's
after
clicking
that,
a little bit.
That's where
and
they
he
got
wasn't
the
even
camo
holding
hats.
the gun right.
They pulled.
Yeah, that was the funniest part.
And this was like the last month of the campaign trail too, where they tried to pull this half-ass stunt to try to get like, I guess, like more moderate conservatives and libertarians to like vote for them. Like you could know that you could tell it was just disingenuous and a complete and total stunt. It was cringy. Like everything I'm seeing, especially after Trump won, everything I'm seeing, everything I see from the left right now is just it makes my skin crawl. It's so cringy.
Well, say what you want about Trump. Trump is genuine. Trump is genuinely Trump. On camera, Trump, he's Trump. Off camera, Trump, he's Trump. Kamala Harris, nobody even got to know her.
Yeah, like we didn't know what she stood for because she didn't stand for anything.
She wasn't genuinely.
She
was a baddie though. We'll give her that. She was a baddie. We'll give her that.
She basically went around the campaign trail saying, "I'll say
a
whatever."
booze hound, type of baddie, but still a baddie.
No, what she did was she went around the whole campaign trail saying, I'll say whatever you want me to say to make you like me, basically. It was like, please be my friend.
Trump's doing tips.
I'll say whatever you want. Just please be my friend, bro.
Like, everything Trump did
I'll
positive.
believe whatever you want me to believe.
Basically, everything Trump did positive, she just copied. That's basically what she did.
She didn't even... She
tips and stuff, she copied that.
She did this weird, disingenuous... Like, you could tell that it was like a rushed... Like a forced thing. That's why it was so cringy, because she would try to copy, like you said, what Trump did, but she did it in such a way that it was like, you obviously don't really believe this. You just whatever you like I said, whatever you guys want me to say, I'll say it if you give me your vote.
Give me a paycheck and I'll say anything.
Yeah,
that's basically what she did.
Well, give me a vote and I'll say whatever you want if you vote for me. Like, I'm not gonna follow through with any of this shit. Like that's like, what do you guys think about Trump like being the first president like ever to like do what he said he was gonna do?
Trump gives.
And what do you think about the media acting surprised?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Trump doesn't tax tips. I won't tax.
I love
tips.
how like MSNBC and CNN, it's like they didn't get the memo. They were
he literally signed in front of an entire arena a bunch of executive orders and then threw the pens to the audience.
But they're like, oh my God, he's actually deporting people. He spent the past 6 months saying it over and over and over. He was talking about deporting people when he got shot in the face.
When I get elected, I'll deport people. I'm elected. I'm going to deport people. I'm going to deport people. They're deported.
What? About it on the campaign trail, but then they'd like, but now they're like in shock and awe that he's doing exactly what he said he was gonna, like, oh my God, he said that he was going to deport people. I can't believe he's deporting people.
I can't believe that's such a shocking concept for somebody to say, oh, I'm going to do something and then do it. Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Like, I figured isn't that what everybody...
One of the things they really freaked out about and they tried to lie about was when Trump froze all of the federal like grants and loans and all that sort of thing.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, segue a little bit because the new press secretary in her first briefing addressed that right away, immediately. Damn. Apparently this panel believes that Caroline Leavitt is a smoke show. Which
she is very conventionally attractive. Yes, she is.
I'm married, no comment.
Benai is the only married one, so he's gotta like have plausible deniability. But I thought it was a refreshing change because you guys don't know how absolutely infuriated I would get every day watching.
What's that black chick's name?
Kareem Jean-Pierre, KJP.
The funniest thing was, who's that reporter that always would question her? The only person that would ever ask her tough questions?
Peter Ducey from
Fox.
Peter
Ducey. I love that guy.
He's the White House correspondent for Fox. But
media bias detected.
I never seen so much like just blatant, like, you know, that say a lot of big words without saying anything at all. You said a lot of shit, Kareem Jean-Pierre, without saying anything at all. And I will say, as an American citizen, that you made me disgusted.
She did a good job as lying.
She made me feel dirty listening to her stupid voice every day. Like, not answering questions. Like, she would say a lot of crap. Somebody would ask her something, a tough question, and she'd say a bunch of stuff without answering the damn question.
And it was a lot of her trying to explain away why Biden wasn't involved.
Just obfuscating, and it was the most disgusting and disgraceful thing that I've ever seen from any White House press secretary.
It reminded me of the episode from South Park where he's like, "Oh, I didn't really say that, but that's what happened." I can't say she killed babies, but she didn't say she didn't either.
But I also plead the fifth.
And stuff like that.
And then just like the way she would just like walk off.
Yeah.
Too. Like if she got a hard question, she would just be like, "We're done here."
Yeah. And it was usually Peter Ducey asking a question.
But then you see the contrast with Caroline Leavitt. Like, dude, did you guys watch the first press briefing?
Yeah, I watched it.
Or even the second one?
It was awesome.
Like, just like complete transparency. Even when they asked her questions, like she answered them. And she answered them in, like, straight... It wasn't, like, her going off in all these big words without saying anything. She, like, made sure that she dumbed it down, too, for the American people to, like, be able to digest. Like, this is what's happening. This is what the president says. Like, and whenever they were like, well, what do you think about the president doing this, that, and the other? And she would just repeat what he says. You can tell that, like, she spends every day with the man because she's like, this is what... I was just with him, and we were just talking about this, and this is what he said, and I'm gonna repeat you verbatim what he said, and that's all. That's all I'm gonna say because I'm not gonna put words in the president's mouth.
I thought Kayleigh McEnany was really good. His first.
She's cool, but
this chick, I think she's really good.
She's really intelligent.
She's really good,
and not for the reasons Antone.
Not for the reasons Antone thinks, but she's really good. She's intelligent, and it just goes to show you that like the adults are back, bro. The adults are back in. Like there's actual like leaders and people with brains on their shoulders running this again.
And the media freaked out when she said that they were gonna give press passes to like different podcasters and alternative news outlets.
You see all the people like just like going, you know, like this elitism. You can hear like the elitism in their voices.
Can we talk about how useless a degree in journalism is these days? Can anybody get a degree in journalism?
I believe that if I would have got a degree in journalism, I'd probably be better at what I'm doing right now.
No, but I mean,
you gotta teach us something, right?
But all these people that are so-called journalists. It's just a bunch of propaganda that they type up that they're getting told to
Oh
type.
yeah, did you see? Going back to RFK again, I had to hate
What's
to
the point of
circle
getting
back to
educated?
that, but did you see that during his hearing, before the hearing even started, that people got pictures of
Yeah, I've seen that.
people already typing out, like before the hearings even started, they're shitting on him.
Because people are getting told, they're getting literally fed what to.
Yeah,
what to say.
this is what you say.
It's not journalism. How is that journalism? Isn't journalism like reporting stuff that's actually happening without a biased
they want to
view?
call us the fascists? Like, piss me off with that. But anyway, I got this last article here that I'm going to segue into. It's another Trump stuff. This is from the past couple of days with the flights. The flights. By the way, prayers going out to the people and the families.
Yeah, that's terrible. What happened?
Yeah.
Amen. That's right.
Oh yeah, but here's what the media kind of went with it. Apparently, instead of talking about the actual flight and the actual facts of what happened, instead NBC News is from NBC News. They say Trump sparks outcry with implication that DEI policies are at fault in DC midair collision.
He didn't say that it was specifically at fault. He said it's a possibility.
I'm just gonna say that's probably exactly what happened. I'm not giving these guys the benefit of the doubt anymore. I'm gonna listen to Trump.
If it's
First of all, he's the president of the goddamn United States, so I think he knows.
Well, do we all here know who ran the Department of Transportation before Trump ran? Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah. Anyway, let's read some of this. At his first news conference since the aircraft collision over the Potomac River, President Donald Trump implied Thursday that diversity, equity, and inclusion programs could be the cause, although an investigation into fatal disaster has only just begun. I don't know. This is him quoting, "We have to have our smartest people as air traffic controllers," Trump said Thursday morning. "It doesn't matter what they look like, how they speak, who they are. They have to be talented, naturally talented, geniuses even. Can't have regular people doing their job. We can't have regular people doing this job. They won't be able to do it, but we'll restore faith in American air travel." Trump spent a considerable amount of time discussing the Federal Aviation Administration's DEI initiatives, particularly under President Joe Biden and Barack Obama. He cited the FAA's acknowledgement of underemployment of employees with disabilities. What do you guys think?
Well, from what I've gathered, the traffic control made contact with the helicopter that there was a jet in the area, and they needed to confirm that they seen the jet. And the helicopter confirmed they did see it, but it wasn't the helicopter that was coming towards them. So they seen a jet coming through, but it was the wrong one, and they ended up avoiding the wrong
Wasn't
helicopter.
it also the other helicopter crash too?
Well, from what I'm seeing from the latest update today from the press briefing they're saying it was like the helicopter's fault.
Oh yeah, it was for sure the helicopter's fault.
It was the because I believe Pete had said something about it where it was actually they were. It's funny because it's not funny, but it's funny just the circumstances. It was actually to check the competency of it was a pilot that was just starting
doing a test.
Yeah. And they were checking the competency of the pilot, and obviously that turned out to be a tragedy.
Also, aviation traffic control should have been able to get them to confirm that they were going to be missing the actual jet that was heading straight towards them when they were crossing the river.
I just love I just love this article, how it immediately instead of talking about what happened, it
goes immediately.
It goes immediately. Trump said this.
Yeah.
It goes to a biased standpoint.
It just immediately just shows like
what
they
Trump
don't
said,
care
it's
about
common
what
sense.
they could care less about what happened. They just want to talk about what Trump said about what
It's
happened.
a biased standpoint. They say, "Oh, no, ignore that. What Trump said."
It's just Orange Man bad instead of oh my God,
Yeah,
the families
exactly.
and the people that died. It's immediately Trump Trump and yeah, you're like, dude, I won't get on a I'm scared to get on a plane anymore these days. Hearing all these. Like you remember the Alaskan flight that the door flew off during the flight, like they're like 30,000 feet up in the air, like a door flies off. You're just sitting there doing your fucking commute to wherever you're going, and all of a sudden like, oh my God, dude, like, yeah, dude, you couldn't, like, I don't know if I'll even get on a flight for the next couple of years. I'm too scared, bro. Like,
I think it's kind of funny the Simpsons predicted that too.
Oh,
They
yeah.
showed like the low plane flying off. As, like,
it is Trump wrong by here
Little
saying that we
radios
have to
and
have
stuff,
our
those
smartest
funny.
people
No,
on this. I'm
not
sorry.
at all.
I'm sorry, but like, if I were to get on a plane, like, I want to know that like I'm safe, dude. Like, I'm trusting the people flying the plane and the people that built the plane and the people that
The TSA
maintain
should
the
be-
plane.
yeah.
I'm trusting them with my life and the life of I think the average amount of passengers on a regular passenger plane is like 100 something, maybe 200 people. Like, that's 200 souls on a goddamn plane. We're putting a lot of it's like when you get in a car with somebody, you're just the passenger. Like, I'm trusting you with my life in your hands right now. Oh, dude.
And I think what Trump is trying to say is we don't need any more information to know that somebody screwed up.
Yeah,
And they obviously weren't competent.
Obviously, it's a matter of incompetence.
The fact that happened, that should never happen.
The FAA is saying, like, coming out saying that it's something about, like, oh, we're understaffed and there's people not getting enough sleep. And I'm like, this is absolutely absurd, dude.
There shouldn't be any excuses.
Like, I'm getting in this metal tube that's flying through the air at a gajillion miles an hour, and like, I gotta trust that everything's gonna go right. Like,
Especially that it was a military helicopter that it happened with.
yeah, and it was in DC, like that.
It's like, we need the best.
Trump
of the
said
best.
Black Hawk helicopters.
What's
are the
wrong with
worst,
saying we want the
helicopters and
best
shit?
people doing
It's
this?
funny.
The best of the best of the best.
Yeah, like, I just want competent people, like.
And we're not saying screw a black person if they want this position. Or
no,
screw a Mexican if they want this
I'd put
position.
that.
It's not about that. It is literally about, are you competent to do the job? Are you more
For
competent
real.
than the next?
Like
And not everybody who is just competent.
He said right in this article, he said, they're quoting him saying, it doesn't matter what you look like how you speak, who you are, you just have to be, like you got to be good at your job.
And we don't, not even
As
just
long
good.
as you're a
We want the
minority.
best.
Yeah,
they want the best.
we don't want mediocre, bro. Like, if you're a mediocre person doing mediocre work at your job, I don't want, like, the McDonald's employee coming over to the TSA and directing traffic control. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm sorry.
If you're-
Like, I don't need you controlling traffic control. Like, people that go to work every day and, like, hate their job and are like, oh my God, I don't want you directing air traffic. Okay?
If you're proficient at your job, basically Trump is saying, yeah, we want you to do your job. If you're proficient
and
efficient
realize
at
the
it.
gravity of what your job is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
How
not
many
just any
souls
job.
are flying through the air
Right.
as we speak?
Basically, what
dude.
Trump is saying, this isn't just any job. So we don't want you to just be good at this job. We want the very best, the top of the, like, the best in the world
and
to
I
be
don't
running
care if you're a one-armed fucking three-legged giant purple people eater. If you're really good
you can
and
get it done,
dedicated at your job,
get it
then come work for the TSA, giant purple people eater.
It's
we
common
will take
sense.
you. It's
What Trump said,
absolute
common
common
sense.
sense. Absolutely, dude. Like, This is
Dry and cut.
Not this woman shouldn't get a job over this guy that is way superior and way more proficient at the job just because she's a woman.
where are we at?
That's
with
not
time?
how it works.
We are at an hour and 9 minutes, boys.
All right, that's not too bad.
So how far are you?
Well, we can still go for as long as you guys want. I thought it was longer than that. So
Keep adding this on. This is good for the Patreon.
I don't got any more articles, but like just overall, I guess like the first 2 weeks Trump's presidency, like what do you guys think? It's been wild, it's been crazy,
Walking
it's been
straight to the
good,
point,
it's
love
been
it.
celebratory, but what do you guys think?
I think overall on like foreign relations and bunch of American policies and stuff, I think he's doing a pretty
I'm
good job.
excited, man. I'm excited. That's
There's
why
some stipulations with it, but
That's
Did you
why I
see
started
the,
this podcast. I'm like optimistic that like building businesses and like doing stuff. Like I think I don't want to get too excited because who knows what's gonna happen in the next 4 years. It's only been a couple weeks, and but I'm feeling pretty optimistic.
I feel like it was a weight just off my shoulders. Just like I have faith in this man. I have so much more faith in this man
I'm
than the
counting
previous
on him.
incompetent administration.
personally,
I'm
I
counting
think
on
he
him,
could
but-
go for a third term. Personally, I think he could
Hey,
go
I'd
for a
vote
third
for
term.
him.
Personally,
I'd vote for him.
Simpsons,
Just
man.
saying.
I don't know. What do you guys think about JD so far?
love
I
JD.
do have on our itinerary. We got to talk about the I don't really care Margaret. That
Yeah.
now become the Margaret is now the new Karen.
Yeah.
You want to talk about how he can go to every enemy camp and remember where Trump sends him and he just eats that opponent up?
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Well, I think that's why Trump ended up picking Vance.
How about
Is
Vance?
He's a smart guy. He can have his back.
I didn't really know a lot about.
I was
him
kind of
until-
upset at first because I wanted Vivek.
Yeah, I wanted Vivek. I mean,
Because we've seen
Vivek.
Vivek.
I'm kind of disappointed Vivek decided to step out of Doge too.
Yeah, apparently he's going to be running for governor.
Yeah, I know he's gonna be running for governor.
What
but
state was that? Ohio,
I
I
just
think.
yeah, in Ohio. I was so excited about Vivek, and I thought that he would at least had a cabinet position, and then I was like, okay, he's not getting a cabinet position, but I'll take him in Doge. Hell yeah, he's got a lot of good ideas about.
I feel like
cutting wasteful spending.
The way they thought it is Vivek has built up such a personality and so many people know him that they almost feel like just relegating him to Doge wouldn't allow him to tap into his full potential.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of had a sourpuss maybe about that. Like I don't know about Vivek right now. He seems like he's less enthusiastic. Like he helped Trump get across the finish line and stuff, and promoted him, and was one of the key speakers on a lot of his rallies. But I feel like he kind of went into sore loser mode after everything, and after he didn't get his cabinet position or anything. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to like speak because I do like Vivek. I think he's a very, very intelligent man and a good man, and I love his family and like how
I think he's very competent.
Yeah, he's definitely a competent human being for sure. That's why I thought for sure he'd at least get a cabinet position if he wasn't going to get vice president. But I'll accept JD, man. Like a lot of people are JD Vance 2028 already talking about. Like I don't know who. That's another thing I wanted your guys' opinion kind of on. Like what do you think about 2028? Who's gonna carry the MAGA movement to the next level?
If I had
And
to put money,
can they whoever it may be even bring as much as Trump?
well, the first part of the question, I would say that if I were a betting man, I'd say probably JD Vance is going to be kind of...
Yeah, I agree.
Just because he's so well-spoken and he's so able to articulate himself.
He's got a good story, too.
He's got a great story. He's relatable.
I mean, yeah, I didn't even realize that this guy was working in our government. I was actually, like, I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't know about him before Trump picked him.
And then the second part, I would just say that I think he would have a really good chance just depending on how well these 4 years go. We do really well. The economy does really well. We don't have a massive pandemic like COVID.
I mean, he's definitely out there
there's no more election
in the public eye,
interference.
too.
Yeah.
than Kamala Harris was as a vice president.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that. Like,
and I think
like the vice president, the way everybody was talking, like all the Kamala Harris supporters were talking about Kamala Harris, like she's such this great lady with all these accomplishments. It's like, but how would we know that she was never in the public eye until she decided to apparently be the czar of the DNC? Like they just installed her as the DNC emperor.
No primary. She didn't get any votes.
Yeah. like, but even like she wasn't in the public. It's like not like our the past 4 years, both of our president and our vice president.
It's called transparency.
Both our president and our vice president for 4 years were like. They wouldn't even like, but in the past 2 weeks, Donald Trump and JD Vance have had 1 million interviews, a bunch of White House press briefings, just so.
You feel good as an American. You feel good when like something goes on in your country, and you want to know that your leader. He's competent and he's doing something about it.
Yeah,
You want to hear from him.
Yeah. Like I just want you to like talk to me a little bit. Like you're the leader.
Tell me how's it going. If something happened, how do we fix it?
Like he's even doing it more than I would even expect. I would expect like once a week coming out with the White House press briefing. Like maybe not having Caroline Leavitt's going to be out there every day, probably, or every other day, like probably all the time. But at least like get President Trump out there once a week, and then you got JD Vance out there like doing interviews.
Well, I think he almost has to these days because it's just how many false rumors and things that the media spreads. So Trump's like, okay, you're gonna do that.
Every press briefing, he has to correct people on their bullshit.
It's like I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna clarify myself and make sure that the American people know that I'm doing what I'm saying.
Yeah, we know exactly what you're doing, and we know exactly what you're thinking. Like what's
we don't have to guess who's in charge, who's pulling the strings.
Yeah, no,
you know?
he's out
They
there.
like to say Elon Musk is pulling the strings.
He's right out front for everybody to see. Completely.
I kind of want to look up what political promises he made and which ones he fulfilled.
Well, he's fulfilled a bunch.
Pretty much all of them.
More than most.
I'm just waiting for the price of gas.
Drill, baby, drill.
Yeah, drill, baby, drill.
Cut the regulations. Bring in the companies.
No, solar. No,
you guys
solar.
see all the TikTok videos of the people going, "Is this what you voted for? Is this what you wanted?" I'm like, yes.
I've just been sipping on liberal tears.
Like,
baby.
why do you think we voted? Like, is this what
Have
you
you
voted
seen
for?
the-
Yes, this is what we voted for.
I seen a woman on TikTok and she was like, "Oh, we couldn't afford to go out every Sunday night. Well, none of us work, but we all go on disability and stuff." And like, so you have to get a job. Oh, poor you.
What a disgusting.
You have to get a job.
What a disgusting way to
Poor
live,
you.
too. Like, just like sucking off daddy government. Like, bruh.
We have to stop going out every Saturday
my
night
God, like-
because we don't have disability.
Like that
And they,
just
like, freak
sounds
out about it. It's
disgusting.
freaking
That
funny.
sounds.
You know who I
disgusting,
care about?
dude.
I care about the young people in this country that go to college. They have to pay for their college. They can't afford a place to live. They have to have a bunch of different roommates to be able to even afford a small basic
So
apartment.
much more different than how our parents
You have to
and
juggle
grandparents live.
all these things. You'll never be able to afford a house with the interest rates and the price of housing these days.
It really started with people in my age range, the millennials, that like we really got sold on the
Goddamn
American dream, dude. Like we got sold. I believed in that stuff as a kid. I believed truly in my heart that I was gonna grow up, I was gonna get a good job, I was gonna buy a house like early. Like I figured by like 25 I'd have a house, I'd be married with a bunch of kids, or at least a couple kids. Like I want children too, and like I want them like when I die, because we're not all gonna be here forever, yo. Like,
Oh yeah.
and I want like the next generation and the next generation after that, like to be good, to be okay.
And the biggest problem is the dollar is losing its value and things are getting more expensive.
Well, we got Big Daddy Trump.
Inflation, which is by what?
I like
the IRS spending.
I like what X has been saying. Daddy's back, bro. Big Daddy's back. You guys hear that Tom Holland?
yeah.
That Tom.
Big Daddy, baby.
Tom
Big Daddy
McDonald.
Trump.
Daddy's back in the White House.
Big Daddy's back,
Oh,
and he's here to play. He's here to stay.
Might
Here
be
to
time
play
to
and
invest
here to
into
slay
some
and
crypto. Crypto, man.
yeah.
Crypto. Trump is going to make
man.
crypto great.
Bag on
He's
it.
going to make America great. He's going to make America safe again.
Healthy again.
Healthy again.
Maha.
All of it.
Maha.
He's going to make America rich again.
Yeah, baby.
He's going to secure the border again.
You guys think this
Play the liberal
he
clip of him, freaking out.
he said during his inauguration, he said like the golden age, like you guys thinking like we optimistic here at Wolfpack?
I'm optimistic.
I'm
for sure. I'm
optimistic.
excited. I'm optimistic.
I'm
got a lot of good people
I'm
around him.
carefully optimistic.
The reason this time I think it's going to be different, he has people around him that are way more trustworthy.
Way better, like rabble rousers, dude.
Like
Like,
before-
how come his first, like, it was just a bunch of rhinos, but now we got the like.
Well, the reason is
this is the rock
he
and
is not a
roll.
career politician, and the big downside to that is you don't know anybody in Washington.
Stop. Yeah, dude, I'm excited for this next 4 years, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm carefully optimistic. I'm like we've been saying this whole time, like I don't want to count my chickens. But every time it feels like something else comes up because now we got these confirmations. First it was the election, then it was the inauguration. Now it's him getting all his cabinet members in, all these people that I want, these rabble rousers, these people that are willing to push the buttons.
After the first 100 days, I think things are going to be looking a lot better for us. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. Anything else, guys? I got nothing on the news front. I think we pretty much covered everything.
Well,
Not anything about Carolyn Levitt.
no, nothing about that.
We
About our foreign ally, you know.
Oh God, he was
Israel Nation, Bibi
we're not
slash
getting on that. We're
Netanyahu
not
slash.
getting on that. I will, like, if you guys want to talk about like Trump getting us the hell out of war. No more war mongering. No more money for the
Ain't hold my breath on that.
No more condoms for Hamas.
Yeah, no more condoms for Hamas.
Pull up the condoms for Gaza.
We got
snippet there that Joe Biden sanctioned.
$50 million, bro. That would feed me and my family for generations. And you're using it to give Gazans condoms, which apparently they're filling them with helium and using them as bombs.
Yeah, like after the first time you say, "Oh yeah, no more."
I mean, there's Doge making itself useful right there already. Like the fact that they brought that out, that we're spending all this money on just silly things, dude.
And that's why he froze the federal spending.
Yeah, they're all like bitching about the freeze of the. Screw you guys.
He just need to look and see what bullshit that you were sending money to.
And then-
Stop it.
And
then everybody
and even if you don't stop it and you just redirect it to somewhere that's actually going to benefit the American people.
And then everybody freaked out about it, and then it unpaused itself.
Man,
and then they
I'm-
were like, "Oh, it's okay now."
I'm down with the I'm down with the Trump saying let's stop all income tax, federal income tax.
Yeah, we'll see if he can go through with that one. That's a huge one.
Let's, that's a
Who
big
was
one. That
the
would-
last president to stand up to the IRS?
If he did
JFK.
that, he deserves to be on Mount Rushmore.
I think he almost already
There is a
deserves to be
petition
on-
started to actually
but
take
if
him
he
and put
did
him on
that,
Mount Rushmore.
that would lock him in for Mount Rushmore, ending the federal ending the Fed, bruh.
That would be
Dude,
awesome.
that's every libertarian's wet dream right there. And most Republicans, man. I think we gotta break away from this like spending addiction, dude. Like we're acting like we're like super rich, dude. Like we're gonna be like a third world country in a couple years if we keep up this dumbass.
There was
spending.
one that was $40 million to Burma for diversity education. That was a crazy one.
I seen one from, I believe it was Ron Paul. He does this every year or maybe it was Thomas Massey. I can't remember. It was one of the Congress people that were like out there. Like he does like every year where he just lays out this whole list of things that we waste federal money on, and one of them was like studying butterflies in fucking Brazil or something. Like $40 million for a study on butterflies in Brazil. This LGBTQ program in Africa, like teaching Africans about the LGBT because they don't fucking understand that shit. Neither do I. I'm right there with you, Africa.
We don't understand.
Play the clip of that one dude going to Africa, whatever his name was.
That was Matt Walsh. Shout
Matt
out
Walsh,
to Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire, dude. Like, what is a woman? And am I racist? Were
those were great.
Those are comedy.
If you haven't watched those movies, go to the Daily Wire. Subscribe.
Go to Daily
If you ever want to laugh, watch it. It's a good movie.
For real. Like I wanted to laugh, but also wanted to scream.
I just subscribed, or a while ago, I just subscribed to the Daily Wire just to watch it. I laughed my freaking ass
dude, you'll
off.
find it's worth a subscription too, because they got a lot of stuff on there that's just like, I love Matt Walsh.
It was so funny at the end when he gets the lady to freaking pay his friend for reparations. That was awesome.
It was I think it was one of the producers.
It's like the black
she gave him
producer.
like $30 or something.
And then he minuses it from the total like classes he took and shit.
Apparently, he has it hanging in like a glass frame on his in his office. I would too. Like I'd be like, a white lady gave me like $30 in reparation. I like not even seriously. I tricked her into doing it. Like that was the most.
I like how she said, "This doesn't pay for all the ramifications
straight up
of
fucking
racism,
virtue signaling, though.
This
bro.
will help." It was the funniest thing I ever saw.
Straight up virtual signaling, though, dude. Like this is nuts.
When he was trying to convince all the people in his class about, it was some class that he did where he was teaching people how to be less racist or whatever, and then at the end of it he gets those whips. Like, what?
Oh yeah.
Did the Catholics used to do that? Whip themselves
Yep.
or whatever?
Yep.
Yeah, he had like those whips.
It's like a
That's
Hail
something from
Mary,
like
I
the Da
believe.
Vinci Code.
And he
stuff,
said, like,
yeah.
for every racist thought you've ever had, you have to whip yourself with it, and like people were agreeing to it. Like one dude walked out, he's like, okay, I tried, but I've had enough. And one dude walked out, but there's a few of them that like got excited about it.
Yeah, the chick got really excited about it. It was really funny. She's like,
But
yes.
yeah, if you
I was
haven't
like,
watched
what?
those, Am I Racist? And what is the other
What
one?
is a Woman?
What is a Woman? Those are great.
What is a woman? We don't know.
I know exactly. Like
Oh wait, Trump put an executive order,
I
even
can
though he
answer
didn't
that
have to.
question. Just for our audience and everybody, if you ever wondered what a woman is, it's an adult human female. Like, really easy answer. I don't know. The leftists are, for some reason, unable
And then
to
there's
answer
some
this
like
question.
liberal outlets and stuff that are like saying, well, technically it's not this. So
No,
technically
technically
everyone
it
is a female. And I was like, what?
Actually, that's factually
I looked down, I'm like,
incorrect.
I'm a male.
Technically,
They want to change biology, and it just can't happen.
they just want to change definitions of words, and it's absolutely asinine.
It just causes confusion, and then
Not
like-
it's purposely. That's like what they're doing. It's purpose.
Here's the trick.
It's a purpose.
If I never get confused on it, if I ever will get confused on it, I look at my pants.
like that TikTok where it's an old dude and he's like yelling about it.
Yeah.
he's like, well, I have a dick, don't I?
Yeah.
So I'm a man. Like,
The
you
fact
gotta
that
love
we even
old
have
people.
to talk about this is insane.
Dude, the fact that the president of the United States had to sign an executive order to say that there's only two like, this is what our world has come to.
Which the ramifications of that was it actually changed how the state structures certain bathrooms and stuff, which I think is a good step in the good direction, you know.
What do you mean, restructure?
Because usually most states actually, when they want to get federal spending, they have to comply with certain federal regulations.
Yeah, that's
and
what Trump's doing. He's
Yeah.
using that leverage.
He's like, you're not getting any funding if you don't support this.
They're changing it back.
They're
The bathrooms.
hopefully the bathrooms, the schools. Like, we will. If you're still teaching gender ideology or CRT, then we're gonna strip your federal funding, and that would put a lot of those schools out of business.
And they're not going to do that, so they
I
can
100% back that. That's a great
I
idea.
100% back that. Like that's a business tactic. That's why I love Trump so much. He's like, dude, okay, you don't want to do this, then we'll do this. Like what he's doing with the tariffs and shit. Like, you love how I forget what country it was that wasn't taking. Colombia wasn't taking the deportees back, and would that take about an hour, 2 hours before they were not taking them back? Trump goes, all right, tariff, and they went. It's like playing a game of chicken with.
He did a bunch of stuff
chickens.
too. He said that he was going to get rid of
how,
their security clearances and a whole bunch of stuff,
Oh,
like
yeah.
all the politicians and their family. And
I kind of like how Donald Trump gave him the option of like
Yeah, they were going to take
Mexico
away
and Canada
visas.
to actually
They weren't
join
going to accept
America.
any more people coming over on business trips.
like Trump wasn't screwing around. And then he posted the picture of him on, was it Truth Social or X, the meme of him, and it said,
He usually posts on Truth.
fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Because seriously,
The president
I like
posted
how
that,
you like
fuck around and find
actually-
out.
fuck around. This
he
is
had
the
like
age
the-
of
he had
fuck
the
around
hat
and find
on.
out, dude. Fuck around with America. And
I like how you
come
like this,
find
like,
out.
oh, all this tariffs and stuff will cripple our economy and stuff. And then he's just like, okay, join our fucking nation.
It worked.
Join
it worked,
our nation, then.
First of all, it worked fine.
And what did they do?
It worked fine in
No,
his
we're not gonna
last
do that.
administration.
They're
Some
like,
of the tariffs
okay,
some of the tariffs that he had, Biden kept in place, because like the tariffs on steel. Like, Biden kept those in place, and the steel industry is doing great in America.
Because if
right
he
now.
would have taken them off, then the steel industry would have been
Yeah,
destroyed.
they were making too much money.
And then they were- and then
that was the
Biden
thing, they were
bragged
making
about
too
the
much
steel
money
industry.
about it. Yeah,
Remember that?
Like he was the one that. Yeah, that was his go-to thing. Was, oh, well, look what I do. Actually, Trump did that, and they're still doing it now. They're like, oh, the economy's bad now. Suddenly, after a couple weeks of Trump in office, suddenly it's bad.
Wasn't
Even though
there
even though a month ago it was the greatest economy that
Right.
has ever happened.
Wasn't there a policy or something that the Biden administration kept that was actually Trump's, but they took credit for? Which one was that one?
Oh God, I don't remember. There's so many. That was Biden's go-to thing, especially towards the end there, bro. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, this is another thing I wanted to cover that I forgot about. What do y'all think about? This made me pissed. Was Biden's pardons?
Oh God!
Like I ain't even gonna get into Trump's
If you're not
pardons 'cause I'm
guilty,
totally
why do you
down
need
for
them?
it. But yeah,
Yeah.
dude, like, okay, like I was like,
If you're not guilty, you have
I was-
nothing to hide.
I was
Yeah.
in the fact that like the J6 committee, everybody there was pardoned for like any crime that they possibly could have done since 2014.
So is it like an umbrella
Like, he might as well
thing?
have just put like a giant LED sign up saying we're all guilty.
It
of
started when I was
treason.
vice president.
Yeah, it started.
And
when I
the
was
big guy who needs 10%, oh, that's Joe Biden.
No shit, like everybody's like, oh, I think the big guy might have been Joe Biden. No,
We do this for years.
Conspiracy theorist 37, other people 0.
Disinformation, the Hunter Biden laptop stories, disinformation, and then they gave him awards.
Fauci part.
The journalist got awards.
Oh my god.
Fauci part had pissed me off the most, bro, because, like, seriously, that man belongs in prison.
Dude, Russia, like, wanted to extradite him to Russia.
I don't know.
Over crimes against humanity.
We can do it, too. Like, there's
I would agree to it.
No reason we shouldn't. As part of the deal to get out of Ukraine or part of the deal to stop the war. One dude for millions of lives, I'll take that.
He made people lose their jobs.
Machine.
He made people take the vaccine that didn't want to take the vaccine when they were threatened and they were blackmailed into
and
doing
the fact that that's what RFK was trying to bring up in his hearings too, that like this vaccine actually there was a spike in like no cause deaths after people took the vaccine, dude. Like you can see it, they have a chart of it somewhere on the internet.
It was the most untested vaccine ever. Most untested vaccine.
Yep.
Like all other vaccines before that, there was years and years and years and years of scientific research.
Which I am willing to criticize Trump here a little bit on the COVID thing because
he trusted the wrong people.
I'll blame it a lot on the other people, but at the end of the day, he was the president of the United States, so he should kind of take a little bit of responsibility for it. Operation Warp Speed was devastating, and that's what caused like the untested vaccines was the fact that they were trying to get it out way too fast. And like you couldn't get me to take any of that shit ever.
You can't even call it a vaccine. It's so
who
untested.
else is unvaccinated here on this panel? Like, we're all.
The last vaccine I got was for a tetanus
Hey, and that's
shot.
why we love RFK. We're all anti-vaxxers here.
I'm all about like just like what like it was common sense watching him talk. Like it's just like yeah, dude, we need to test these things. We can't just be poking people's arms full of whatever.
I have a personal story about my dad taking the COVID shot. Afterwards, he was like throwing up and stuff and like coughing all the time. It was like,
dude, like,
what?
Like,
shouldn't it make you better?
It should, you would think.
Apparently not.
It was so untested, dude.
I just love how all these conspiracy theories are coming to fruition.
And they're that was actually true. Sweep it under the rug.
Like
that was actually true. No,
dude,
that's why they're so afraid of Kash Patel getting in.
Oh yeah, because he's gonna investigate it. Investigate it, dude. Kash Patel. Investigate it. Investigate it.
I cannot wait, dude.
They're all like, "Oh, do you have an enemies list?" And I'm like, "I hope he does have an enemies list."
Me too. The American people want that to happen.
Yeah, like there's I want accountability. That's what pissed me off so much about these Biden pardons was like, so everybody did all this horrible shit and they're just gonna get away with it again, like nobody's, because that just incentivizes more people to keep on doing it when they see all these other people do it and they're like, oh, they're not getting in trouble for it, all right, well, I'm gonna do it then. Like when there's no consequences, when there are no consequences to absolutely abhorrent behavior, that it's like why the morality of our country is going into the shitter. Because like when we feed the darker parts of ourselves and like feed into that hedonism and have zero self-control and do whatever the hell we want with zero consequences, like then it just goes downhill from there. It's like a rock rolling down a hill, man.
What do you guys think of the January 6ers? Do you think that Trump should have been more selective?
Nope.
Or do you think he did a good job
Nope.
at just broadening it out?
I think he should let more people out.
What about the guy that tased the dude?
I don't care anymore, man. You guys can disavow, but like I do not care. I've seen too much stuff about
J6.
tased
the dude? That was a whole I literally tried to look stuff up like that.
I just don't.
And it was
care,
about him.
man.
Here's the thing,
tasing a dude.
I
and the whole
fully
thing was
support
like,
all pardons of
he had
J6.
some scratch marks and stuff.
I'm not
Who
so
gives a
sure.
shit?
Maybe that there was maybe a couple that attacked police officers that maybe shouldn't have gotten the pardon, but at the same time they've been in prison for 4 years already.
Some of them didn't. Some of them just got their sentences commuted. So because President Trump was like, "You've been in prison for 4 years. That's a good enough
The
time
police
for whatever
report,
you did, bro."
I've actually looked this up. Was actually the police report on it, and it was like tase marks and like little.
But they're acting like these people
stuff.
were never in prison
nothing.
and they were just released on the first day. They've been punished already.
Yeah.
How much more do you want to punish them?
Their lives are ruined, and the ones that got commuted and didn't get a full pardon, they just got their sentences. They're still felons.
Well, there was
it's
a lot
still
of
on their
people's
record. Their lives are still ruined.
I think
There was a
Trump
lot
is
of people
trying to
that
say
lives were ruined, like in media and stuff. Like a bunch of people's lives,
lost family
they couldn't
members.
even like get jobs in their own media.
The
stuff,
QAnon
you know?
shaman guy, like he just said today in an interview that like his family like has disowned him and stuff because of it, and it was just a silly situation. I think it was a psyop. I think it was an inside job. Hello, guys. I'm your resident tinfoil hat dude. I'm just saying. Like, JFK was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job. But just in case you were wondering what kind of guy I was, I believe in all the conspiracy theories.
Like the FBI had agents that were causing the January 6ers to riot by stirring up the crowd.
And you gotta love once again. Here's language that they use. They said that no employees. They had to specify that there were no employees in the crowd.
Employees, not
But they
contracts.
did say that there were assets,
Yeah.
and I believe Kash Patel like said this during his hearing. He pointed out that there's a difference. He's like, yeah, but there were assets, and you got if you're somebody who's ever been in law enforcement, you know the difference between assets, confidential informants, and employees or undercover employees.
It's gonna come out, dude.
Yeah, it's all gonna come out, dude.
It's gonna come out that they caused the January 6th by stirring up the crowd, and that's why Nancy Pelosi refused Trump to be able to send more security in to get it under control.
They used it. They wanted something worse to happen. I believe. I think they wanted something even crazier to go down, and thankfully.
The crazy thing, the only person that died was one of the protesters, and she was a military veteran.
Yeah,
really sad thing.
Ashley Babbitt. Shout out to Ashley Babbitt and her family. That shit's sad.
Thoughts and prayers.
She didn't have to die. That was crazy. Like, dude, that whole thing didn't have to happen, to be honest. Like,
and they tried to make an example out of those people, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
not justice.
then it was the weaponization. That's why I don't care if you like slap somebody in the face, bro. Like, I don't care. All the pardons, and I think that Trump's cabinet, whoever he had writing up those pardons for him, I think they did sit there and select the people that got pardoned. I don't think that any mistakes were made in that. I think that all the people that should have gotten pardoned got pardoned.
And also, they had a right to be mad. I was mad too. If you disagree that the election was stolen, well, then this isn't the podcast for you. I'm just gonna say that because it was stolen.
Man, we're full on. 2020 was a rigged
what
election.
about all those Biden votes that came after midnight?
Okay, you know how it's rigged? You know how it's rigged? Right here. The Hunter Biden laptop story. Right there. Rigged election.
Right there's election
right there.
interference right there.
It was rigged.
But I would even say that, like, dude, it's kind of a good thing that he didn't get elected in 2020. I would say that I think now is the perfect time for him to be president again.
It kind of showed all the Democrats are true colors.
Yeah, it showed, like, all the ugliness. It showed all, and not just, like, the ugliness that they did in the past 4 years, but it showed, like, this deep-seated corruption that's been here probably since after World War II. The past, like, 70 years.
It kind of showed all the exploitation the Democrats use.
Like, what's been going on, not only now, but what's been going on in the early 2000s, what's been going on in the 90s, what was going on in the, because this isn't like the first time, bro. Like, we had Watergate and shit. like there's it seems to be.
I am not a crook.
I heard Charlie Kirk today saying on his podcast, like, that around every 50 years it seems like something like this happens where the government has to fess up to all the things they've been doing for the past 50 years. Like, and I agree.
The time of reckoning is here.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like it's. I just hope that it doesn't keep going in circles. Us humans, man, we have a.
I think Trump is gonna be able to get a lot of stuff done, especially if he gets more seats in the midterm.
I'm just worried about after this next 4 years too, man. Like 2028, we gotta go hard, and we gotta go. Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta remember, we can't just be like, okay, Trump's elected, and then we all put our fucking flags down. You know, we gotta keep
you gotta
on
raise and
on.
hoist up the flag.
Let's
you
cut
do
the
it.
bureaucracy, cut the
hoisted up,
needless
yo.
federal spending, and let's make this country great again.
Like, let's not let another Democrat win another election ever. Like, Republicans forever. Like, and not rhinos, man. Like, MAGA forever, honestly. America first forever, honestly. Like,
It's either get on the train or get out of the way.
yeah, get the hell out of the way. Yeah, that's why
I know
like,
some
a lot of these.
liberals won't agree with that. but-
That's why I kind of like J.D. Vance as 2028, just because he's younger. He's of my generation. He's a millennial, and I just let's get ready. Like, get out of the way, old man. It's our time now. Like, I'm ready to get all these geriatrics
I'm
out of our
excited
Congress.
this time because this time they're going to be able to do something that Trump wasn't able to do in his first term, and that's get rid of the bureaucracy. Get rid of these people that
Get
are
rid of
running
the
our
fourth
Justice
branch of
Department.
government.
Get rid of Mitch McConnell.
The
What is
fourth
he
branch
doing?
of government.
Honestly,
Yeah, Mitch McConnell.
I see.
The man had a stroke on live TV.
Yeah, like I literally watched it. I was like, "What?"
Oh, what
and he
about-
was just like
What about the
Mitch
Congress?
McConnell.
What about
And he
the,
was like zoomed in on him, and I was like, "What?"
what about the Congress?
And he just stared
What
there,
about the
like, what the
Congress
fuck?
lady that went missing? And it turned out that she was in an old person's home. Like, she hadn't showed up to Congress for like 6 months, and nobody knew where she was. And they found her in an old person's home with dementia. I'm like, what is happening? Why? What?
Term limits.
Term limits for
Term
sure.
limits, yeah.
That'll be another libertarian's wet dream. Get fucking term limits on these Congress people. There's no reason that you should be able to make it. No government service job should be a lifetime career.
I think
just
there should be a
throwing it out
law
there.
where if you can't wipe your own ass, you shouldn't be allowed in the White House or the Senate or the council.
If you can't do words or walk up a flight of stairs,
If you can't do any articulate speech
and I'm
You
not
should be
I'm
kicked
I'm
out.
not trying to throw shade
or
at
have any opinion,
I'm not trying to throw shade at Roosevelt too. I mean, obviously, I'll take a guy in a wheelchair that has a good brain, but if you can't walk up a flight of stairs because you're like retarded or have dementia. If you have to be like led, like where to go when you're walking off stairs,
Right.
if you're like water, like if you have dementia, like
Know where you are.
if
Or
you don't know
Alzheimer's.
who you are or where you are, you probably shouldn't be holding the highest seat in our country.
that's been it for the Wolf Cats podcast.
Oh man, dude, that's just craziness. I can't believe it. But dude, the past 2 weeks, this has been great, dude, and this has been great having this conversation. I think our first episode went great. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm excited to get this podcast going. I think there's a lot of good things we can talk about and a lot of
Oh, yeah.
exciting things that are going to happen. And I think 2025 is going to be a great year to be living.
I think
I
it's going to be a
think
great
this-
year to have this podcast. That's why. That's why I thought this was the perfect time to throw our hat in the ring.
I think this is just a precursor of things to come, personally. But
I think it's good things. Let's say it's
A
good
brighter
things. So let's
future.
pretend it's good things.
Good
Oh, yeah.
vibes here. Good vibes.
Good
we may be
vibes.
conspiracy theorists, but
I
Good
mean,
vibes.
I'll always have some conspiracy theories to throw at you guys.
it's all groovy.
That's just the type of guy I am. But anyway, I mean, you guys want to wrap this up? I
Oh,
think
yeah.
we should wrap this up. All right. So it's been really great. Once again, I'm Justin Huseman, Wolfpack Media. Come find us on YouTube, our X at Wolfpack Media 92.
And our Patreon.
Yeah, we got a Patreon. We got What else do we got? We got Facebook. You can find us on Facebook too. And yeah, have a great night, guys. Peace.